this is Liz Coley, and welcome back to Undercover Reading. We're in the middle of Chapter 4 of The Captain's Kid, Breaking Orbit. This is the last section, Section 3. My eyes cracked open. The first thing I saw was a cloud resembling a lion drifting overhead. The second was Audrey's worried eyes. The third was the weed bot, squatting malignantly 4 feet away, sizing me up for the kill. Ah! I rolled away from the crazed machine and covered my head. Karthik jumped between me and the bot. No problem now, my friend. His soothing voice penetrated the panic. It has been remotely deactivated. A strained laugh squeezed out of me. Good, great. Yeah, that's good. How? I levered myself up to sitting. I called my mother and had maintenance control shut down all active bots. We need to haul this one in for immediate analysis. I nodded. Right. Check for program viruses. I tipped my head slightly toward Audrey and winked. No need to make her any more upset. No need to suggest that I'd been targeted. Again. Karthik heaved me to my feet. As you say, viruses. My mother can send someone to retrieve this infected bot. Come on, Brandon, Audrey said. Let's get you to the health center. Karthik, help me with him. I can make it, I insisted, which I found to be a totally false statement as soon as I took a step. Audrey and Karthik each slung an arm around my waist from opposite sides. I leaned on Audrey's shoulder for support and used them as a pair of human crutches to limp along. I'm glad you guys weren't hurt too, I said. Yes, lucky that, Karthik commented. They handed me over to the med tech at triage. Karthik tapped his watch comm and mouthed, "Call me." Audrey was more straightforward. Brandon, you call me the second they're done treating you, and I'll help you back to your room. Don't try it without help. Gosh only knows what you'll hurt next. Hey, this wasn't my fault. I protested over my shoulder as the med tech dragged me off. She tortured me very efficiently, checking and cleaning the wounds, finally bandaging them. My thigh, shoulder, and ankle throbbed. That should do it, she said. After you get back to your room, take this. She handed me a small vial of liquid. It'll take care of the pain and help you sleep. Stay off that leg all day tomorrow, and maybe the day after as well. But my Luna leave, the medtech waved her finger sternly. Stay off it tomorrow, and we'll see about the next day. In spite of Audrey's offer, I wanted to get back to the room alone. I needed time to sort this out. An accident or a pointed attack? I had a bad feeling I knew the answer already. I sat on a sofa, elevating my injured foot on the coffee table, and messaged Dad. Assume you heard all about it by now. Fine and resting as ordered. 5 seconds later, Dad's reply came back. You'd better be fine, stay put. Next on my agenda, message Karthik and put our heads together. Made it back to room, come alone. 30 seconds later, Karthik announced himself through the door comm, quick on his feet. I voice called him from my seat. How do I unlock the door without getting up? Just send the system message. Temporary authorization, Karthik. Siravulu. Door security override with your password, he answered. Okay. So I did that, thinking that was pretty lousy door security. Co-proof, like a thumbprint or a retina scan, should be required. Otherwise, all someone needed to get into a room was one of the occupants' passwords. Karthik let himself in, flopped down opposite, and looked me over. You look pale, he commented. I always look pale. I've had a harrowing day. That bot was programmed to go for you. I knew it. A pulse of adrenaline shot down my legs. Reminded me I hadn't taken the painkiller yet. So that's what the accident analysis showed, I asked in a steady voice. Karthik sighed. Not exactly. There will be no accident analysis. By the time maintenance arrived, the bot had disappeared. Disappeared? And the security cams were disabled in the garden. We have security cams in the garden? Karthik shrugged. Of course, everywhere. Why, may I ask? This was supposed to be a safe, happy place. Why security cams? Just in case, Karthik answered. The memory of my father using the same words to explain his gun flashed through my mind. I hate to say it, I said, but this doesn't look good. You have reached the same conclusions as I have, then. He gestured to the hole in my pants. Furthermore, I don't believe that was ordinary weed killer in the weed bot. I pondered my oozing burns. No, Probably not. My eyes were drawn to the unopened vial of medicine in front of me. Karthik traced my gaze. What's that? He picked it up to read the label. It's supposed to be painkiller and sleeping medicine. Supposed to be. Can you, get rid of it for me? I think I can do without it. The pain's not totally excruciating at the moment. Karthik grimaced and pocketed the vial. Right, boss. Can't be too careful. So, I am basically confined to quarters for the rest of the day, today and tomorrow. Karthik rubbed his hands. Excellent! What? He patted the bulge in his shirt pocket. The way I see it, you are now safe as can be from outside harm. You have a massive shipboard computer and LunaWeb at your disposal. Between my devious mind and your computer skills, we can solve this crime. And I'll bring you all your meals from the cafe so there can be no interference. Dang, did I have to worry about being poisoned too? Where should we start? I asked. He paced back and forth with his hands clasped behind his back. He said. He scratched his chin. Ah, got it. Crew roster. Clearly, we have a dangerous person aboard, and we need to narrow down the suspects. I flicked on the Watchcom V screen, and Karthik came around to peer over my shoulder. Tilt that up a little. Left. No, up. Let's do this at the desk, comp. Grab the chair from my dad's room. A click sounded as he disengaged the chair from its snap-in spot. His voice called out, Your father is extremely tidy. I dashed, or limped rather, ahead of him to pick up my night clothes and underwear off the floor and toss them into the bathroom freshener. Stuff the thermal sheet and pillow into a closet and retract the bed. I had the chair unfolded just as he came to sit beside me. Okay, here we go, I said. The crew roster filled the screen. Subtract you and me and anyone under age 5 and we're down to about, 600 suspects. No problem, Karthik said. Think logically. Should I eliminate people on Luna leave right now? Karthik frowned. No, I shouldn't think so. The bot could have been set up in advance to find you when you next showed up. My, you're a suspicious one, aren't you? I shot Karthik a twisty grin to match his twisty mind. But why me of all people? I wasn't aware that I had any enemies. Why specifically me? That came out whinier than I meant. 2 possibilities, Karthik said, making bunny ears with his fingers. 1, to strike at your father through you, or 2, to stop you directly. I don't like the way that sounds, K-Man. Stop me from what? He held up his palms. I don't know. Maybe from investigating with your computer skills? Maybe from finding out the player and the plan. That was giving me too much credit, perhaps. But I'd play along. Watson, to my Karthik Holmes. Right then, I better hurry up and get him before he gets me. Indeed. Karthik had a pensive look, but I don't think he was listening. He was deducing. I have an idea, he burst out. Can you show me the last 50 people aboard? Sure. I can tap into the log from the boarding security scanner. Why? Karthik gestured at the reduced list of names and their entry times. Follow my logic here. At some point close to launch, the saboteur realized we were safely aboard and leaving as planned. He would have followed us on, after us. Get it? I see, I said. Brilliant. I narrowed the list to people who had boarded after Harry and Sam found us in the cargo hold. Blast, a lot more than I expected. Not one with a big red arrow pointing to him and saying, he's the one. I poked the screen. Okay. There's you and me, of course, along with Dad, your parents, the cargo handlers, Sam and Harry. Let's see. There's our teacher, Ms. Jan. Martinez is right behind her by seconds. They probably came aboard together. These 3 came aboard before us while we were in the Spaceport Officers Lounge. Who are they? I ran a quick check. They cross-reference as kitchen crew. These 2 in security came on together after we did. Maybe they were searching the port for us, Karthik suggested. Yeah, probably. Last on was the navigator, a medical tech, and someone listed as a xenobiologist. That's not too bad. Maybe we could... Oh, wait. The security guys left before launch. They must be platform security, so never mind them. Karthik stretched his hands and snapped his knuckles with a series of pops. Okay, then here's the plan. I will observe the kitchen crew trio, pretending to hang around with my father. Maybe I can overhear their conversations. And look for strange, telling behaviors. You know, that kind of thing. What about me? I'm stuck here. You can continue your search in your own special way. Can you tap into security cams? Never tried. That would be an interesting challenge. Anyway, Audrey can tail Miss Jan. Miss Jan, don't be ridiculous. Karthik shook his finger in my face. Now, you can't just eliminate your suspects because they seem to like you or your father. It could all be a ruse, a diversion, a cover-up. I blushed. Okay, go on. What do you think about the rest? He asked. How about we assign Mo and Sherry to cover Dr. Martinez when they get back from Luna, and we'll have to figure out how to tackle the people we don't run into. What about Khan? You know she'll go crazy if we don't give her a task. I grinned. You're right. So we'll give her someone safe to follow. Keep her out of trouble. Maybe she should do Miss Jan. You know, I just remembered she lived in Arizona a while back. Khan? No, Miss Jan. She lived and taught in the Navajo Nation when she was a student teacher. Now there are Amarins popping up everywhere. Karthik pursed his lips. Very, very interesting. And how do you know this? Dad asked me to do a background search on her yesterday. Karthik's eyebrows jumped. More interesting. Not like that for table conversation. You know, she sat at our table. Maybe. A dimple I'd never noticed appeared on Karthik's cheek. Ah, you know what they say. Keep your friends close and your enemies closer. I shook my head. It's not Miss Jan, I said skeptically, but I see the thrill of the hunt in your eyes. Go get a visual on those kitchen workers of yours. Karthik saluted. Yes, boss. He turned to leave. Oh, almost forgot. He whirled toward me and dramatically placed the medical vial in my hand. I had this analyzed. My breath caught, and I prepared for the worst. It's painkiller and sleeping medicine. Take some. Thanks, I called after him. The suite door snicked shut. Elbows on the desk, I wondered, what can I do from here? Think like Karthik. Be suspicious. Follow the bouncing bot. To hack into the maintenance system, I could go right through Mrs. Ciravolu's manager-level access. Sorry, ma'am, I whispered as I cracked her all-too-common password, her only child's name, paired with a 4-digit number, his birthday. Never do that, I thought, but thanks. Next, check the maintenance bot inventory. I eliminated vacuum bots, sew bots, and the other irrelevant types. That left 4 weed bots for the gardens, 1 listed as under repairs and 3 listed as active on grounds. Now, service records. The bot under repair was pulled from service just prior to launch, in the window after Karthik and I arrived. Isn't that an interesting coincidence? Using calm voice mode, I placed a call to maintenance and asked when the bot in repair would be placed back in service, claiming captain's business. I don't have a bot in for service, the puzzled tech replied. At least there's no requisition in the system. I pitched my voice low and official sounding. Please make a visual inspection of the shelves. A moment, sir, the worker replied. I love the sound of that, sir. 5 minutes later, he called me back. It's the strangest thing, sir, but you were absolutely right. There's a weed bot in the work area, but blast me if I can figure out why it's here. It ran a perfect self-diagnostic. How do you know, if I might ask? Captain keeps track of things. Anything out of the ordinary. That's all you need to know. I'll inform him of your helpfulness. Thank you, sir. I'll put it back in service immediately. I hope the self-diagnostic meant it had lost its killer instinct. And I had learned a lot from the brief investigation. Whoever was behind all of this had acted fast. Just as soon as Karthik and I were safely aboard, he adapted and set this new scheme going. With expertise in bot programming and access to chemicals. And he was on the spot to snatch the bot and wipe its memory as soon as it completed its attack mission. I pulled up a bot operations manual to see what that would take. Bots were programmed to sniff the air and match DNA profiles, kill the weeds, keep the flowers, which meant someone had programmed my DNA and identified me as a weed. Wonderful. I felt that cold grip on the back of my neck again. The only way they could have done that was to sample my DNA from my body or my stuff, or hack into the space elevator security scanner system where my profile was on file. Either option was creepy, to say the least. I tried to shake off the terrible feeling that goes with being stalked, unsuccessfully. I reran the suspect list in my head. Not the Ciravolas, of course, unless Karthik didn't know, or else he was an amazing and subtle enemy agent. I laughed out loud. How unlikely was that? Dr. Martinez was possible, and I knew nothing about him. A science teacher? He had access to chemicals. Should be investigated. As tempting as it was to draw a line from Esperanza to Sequuinos, to Native Americans to Miss Jan's work in Arizona, I couldn't see her as a criminal mastermind, bomb-making engineer, expert in bot sabotage. She'd said herself at dinner that any machine more complicated than an adder confused her. Unless that was a very clever misdirection to throw us off her trail. Kitchen workers? Maybe they had experience with kitchen bots. The navigator? Not likely. Unless, of course, it was a suicide mission. The medtech was a definite possibility, with both medbot and chemical experience. I shuddered to think I'd been helpless in the hands of a medtech only hours ago. Wait, this was getting out of hand. Now I was thinking too much like Karthik, way too paranoid. The door clicked open. My heart lurched violently. Karthik? I called in a careful voice. Nope, Spidey, it's me. Came home early to see how you're doing. I blanked the screen and launched a computer game before Dad could see that I was investigating his crew. Hi, Dad, I called. Dad's smile was crooked and filled half with sympathy, half with exasperation. Can't seem to keep you out of trouble, can we? I lowered my eyes. The breath punched out of me. Sorry, Dad. No, it's obviously not your fault. We're trying to track down the bot that malfunctioned. Ha! Malfunctioned, right! I laughed bitterly and pulled the bandage back on my ankle to reveal the raw, oozing, burnt skin. Does that look like weed killer damage to you? Dad flinched. No, it definitely does not. We'll do a full chemical analysis when we identify the bot. Too late, I told him. I've located the bot in maintenance, already wiped clean and reprogrammed. Record faked. Dad grunted. How'd you do that? I thought I ordered you to stay put. I waved 10 long fingers at him. Not a problem for the webman. Goodness, I guess not. Well, from the speed of that operation, we appear to have a real pro on our hands, unfortunately. He paused. That settles it. He rose and started pulling my stuff out of the closet and folding it into the duffel. I want you off this ship ASAP. Was he kicking me off the mission? Dad, I begged, please don't. You're recuperating back at the Hab. Book yourself into the next transfer shuttle, webman, and I'll call Manda to warn her. My heart skipped. But the mission. I have to come with you. We had to make it right. He zipped the duffel closed. Don't panic. I just want you off the ship for the next few days while we're investigating. Had he already forgotten how useful I could be? But I've got better computer resources on board. How am I going to figure this out if you ground me? Dad mussed up my hair. You're not supposed to be figuring this out. You are supposed to be healing. Besides, get real. Grounding has never seemed to hold you back before. True that. That is the end of Chapter 4. Please join me on Luna.